Well, I think, first of all, the first thing is that Sister Lucy mentioned that there's diabolical disorientation. These are different, big terms. Diabolical means of the devil, that the devil has caused there to be disorientation. Now, it's a big word, disorientation, but yeah, I've had the experience, for example, of after traveling and getting on planes and off planes, on planes, and then being very tired and waking up in the middle. So I say, where am I? And I think I'm in one room and I'm actually somewhere else, thousands of miles away. I'm disoriented momentarily as I'm waking up. So, but Lucy is telling us that the bishops, people in high places, she's talking about bishops and cardinals, are disoriented, that they are doing things that they think are good, which are really bad, because they've been disoriented. The devil has succeeded in disorienting them when they're wide awake, not because they've been traveling or because they're overtired, because they've lost their moorings, they've lost doctrinal foundations. Our purpose here in life is to save our soul. If we lose that doctrine, instead they start to think that the purpose of the church is to bring peace to mankind. No, peace is a result of doing God's will. Seek first the kingdom of God and all things will be added unto you. But they've lost some of these moorings that God has given us. As a result, they also don't understand the message of Fatima. And as a result, now that's one reason. Another reason why they don't understand is because they don't even know it. There's been a conspiracy, dare I use the word conspiracy, but for such a stupendous thing to take place and for so few people to understand it, or even know that the Fatima took place, is already, how could this happen without people deliberately suppressing the story and the message of Fatima and the prophecies and the promises? So some of them don't know it. Others know it or think they know it. They only know part of it. And those that, and then we have those people such as Cardinal Bertoni telling us falsehoods about the message of Fatima, saying the consecration was done. And people say, well, he said it, he must be right. No, he said it, he's wrong. If you look at his evidence for proving it, his evidence disappears. And we've pointed that out time and again. So how is it they don't know? One, well, because they don't know about the message. Others because they believe Cardinal Bertoni. Others because they're diabolically disoriented. And some because there's a mixture. I mean, there may be other reasons besides. But yes, a good part of them, unfortunately, do not know it. And we need to continue to pray for them and do our best to educate them. Pope Francis shows signs that he will do the consecration. Pope Francis, he was elected on the 13th of March. Our Lady of Fatima has taken over shall we say, the 13th day of the month. Her apparitions took place from the 13th of May to the 13th of October. So on the 13th of March, he was elected. So it's a good sign. It's not a proof. But 2 months later, he consecrated his own pontificate to not just Our Lady, but to Our Lady of Fatima. And so he chose, Our Lady has over 1,000 titles. Out of 1,000 titles, he chose one title, Our Lady of Fatima. So he consecrated his own pontificate, his own apostolic work as being pastor of the Universal Church. He consecrated that to Our Lady of Fatima. If he really meant what he said by that, he's saying, I will do what I consecrate myself to you, O Lady of Fatima, therefore I will do what you command me, what you ask me. And of course, the only thing that she's asked the Pope, she's asked everyone, including the Pope, to pray the rosary, to wear the scapular, to amend their lives, to dedicate themselves to Our Lady, but only the Pope, as Pope, can consecrate Russia and order the bishops to do so. And he's saying, as Pope, I'm consecrating my pontificate to you. He is saying implicitly that I will obey you. I hope that this is true, and he's given signs of that. Since that time, we've had the bishops of Lebanon, for example, who have consecrated their country to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. The patriarchs of the East, of the Middle East, have consecrated the Middle East to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. The Catholic patriarchs I'm talking about, and it's in the Philippines, we have the Philippine bishops consecrating their country to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. All that has taken place within a month or with 35 days since the Pope consecrated his pontificate to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. So there's good signs there, but will we have time to get there before all hell breaks loose in World War III or something like World War III? We're sitting on the edge of a real disaster in the Middle East as well. Well, it seems, we've been sitting on the request for the consecration of Russia for 96 years. We've not done it. And everyone sort of says, well, I've been, and I know friends of mine who have been to visit cardinals and say, well, really, I can't do anything. You've got to talk to the Pope. Or I can't do anything. You've got to talk to the bishops. So everyone is sort of passing the buck. We can't do anything. We have a situation like that in church history where we had 3 popes, 3 different men publicly claiming to be the Pope at the same time. And it seemed that all three, each pope had his own cardinals, each pope had his own bishops, each pope had his own religious orders and so forth. And people were sitting on their duff, basically waiting for someone else to do something. I can see that we'll have to explain this in the next. I'm talking about the Great Western Schism from 1379 to 1415. But there was one man who said, I will not accept this situation. He was not the Pope, he was not a bishop, he was not a priest, he was not a cardinal, he was a layman. But this one man said, I will not accept this. And this is what the attitude we must take today, because we're sitting on the edge of a real precipice. We'll talk about this in our next segment.